gorgeous day in paradise.
Oh, you look terrific. Just gorgeous. There we go. It's terrific. The boat's fun. It's got lots of prizes everywhere. There's a distress button here, but...
Do you want to hit that? Let me see you do a plie.
Yeah, I'll do a plie on your head. Hi there, this is Captain Q and my old sailing buddy Randy. Join us as we travel hither and yon as we look for some great deals on classic boats and learn a little with each one.
Hey, Captain.
Oh, Randy, I hear you. Don't bother me. I'm really taking in a beauty here.
Ooh, this is really pretty.
This is lovely. Unfortunately, it's not the boat we're going to look at today. Once again, we're going to look at the world of Taiwanese and Asian-built boats. And today we have a boat that's been designated a Formosa 41.
Okay.
I'm so confused right now. We did a Mariner 41, right?
Mariner 40.
Mariner 40, okay.
Yeah.
And the research I did on that told me that they built one of these and then the molds ended up going into different boat yards and they built 3 or 4 different other boats with names like Sea Tiger, Yankee Clipper, Atlantic Clipper, and so on. So this is a Formosa, but this is supposedly one of the original boats that might have been built by Bill Harnden, who originally got William Garden to design this boat, which they built in wood in Japan, but then he went to Taiwan, took his mold for a boat that was referred to then as a Sea Wolf, to build these in Taiwan.
Seems like they played hot potato with those molds.
Exactly, and I think that's sort of the way things happen over there. Maybe they just kind of do what they want to do. Anyway, so we've got this boat today, and we have a special surprise with this boat. This is going to be a boat that's going to be very dear to Randy's heart and to his future plans. But we'll get to that in a minute.
I'm intrigued.
Not right away.
All right.
Anyway, let's take a look at her. She's pretty yar.
My, she was yar.
Yar? What's that mean?
Easy to handle, quick to the helm, fast, bright. Everything a boat should be.
She has all teak decks, and the cabin trunk is we're not certain if that's molded or glass over ply. Now, Randy, I want you to control yourself.
Whew.
But how do you like that?
That is a proper bowsprit.
That's a major bowsprit right there. She is just gorgeous going to be. The trail boards down here are molded into a stem piece that carries the bow right down to the water. And it's that the bowsprit's not resting on that, but it looks like it is. And that's just really massive. And you can have a dance on the end of this sprit, right?
Oh, I'm going to.
You're really going to have fun. This clipper bow effect, if you want to know what the underbody is like, it goes down. We've talked about boats that are cut away forward.
Yep.
This is not. Basically the same curve. When it hits the water, it reverses and goes into a long keel all the way to the back end of the boat.
All right.
So it's very long, a very long keel, great stability. She'll have a capsize rating of about 1.6, which is really low. And just to remind you that if you're below a 2 on that scale, then you're eligible to go offshore racing.
Ah.
If you're above a 2, race committees are going to look askance and probably you won't make it to the starting line.
Got it.
So she's a good, stable boat. She's going to be fast.
What does it draw?
This draws 6 feet.
Okay.
And about a 13-foot beam. Here's a dandy right here. One of our fans happens to be sailing by right now.
I'm surprised you're not jumping on board.
Well, I can't reach him. Can you say hi, guys?
Another gorgeous day in paradise.
Oh, you look terrific. You look terrific. And it's got a big barn door rudder on her. But there you can see the rudder down there and the props in an aperture.
Okay, so really well protected.
Really well protected, stable. Not a speedster. Not a speedster. She's about 28,000 pounds, I think, and 9,000 in iron ballast.
Okay.
So, but there was something about the early builds, the early Asian builds, all the woodwork and the stuff they did had a certain heft to it. It wasn't a fine looking wood and details, but all these things almost look like they came off a real old sailing ship, don't they?
They do.
You can see the davits on the transom of this boat that'll pick up your dyer dinghy if you want. But if you'll notice right on deck, they flipped the dinghy over centerline, which is sort of old school. If you notice down the hull, this is kind of a nice touch they did over there. The sort of Carvel planking look to it. Now remember, she is fiberglass, so they've just molded the reef seams right into the hull, and it adds to the whole character of the boat.
Yeah.
I like it. The trim on the cabin doghouse and the cabin trunk moving forward, where it's darkened up. I'd love to see that varnished. It's just a little too dark for me.
I'd love to see you varnish it.
I could varnish this little piece right here to about there, and that would show everybody what to do.
Right. And then you get your grandkids to do the rest.
And I get the little short grandkids going to do the little short pieces here. What do you say we go on board now, Randy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. We love the subscribers.
Yeah, more subscribers means that we're going to get recommended to more people, and so that helps spread the love and spread the word about old classic boats and what we're doing, so every little bit helps.
Thanks again.
Seems like a familiar spot.
Well, you know, I always like this back here, and I'm on a bit of a raised bench across here. The owner of this boat, it's a whole story unto himself. Actually bought this about 5 or 6 years ago, worked on it, and made a major adjustment for dealing with some future plans in his mind. He found this boat, decided I can do some things with it that will be of interest. And you know, a lot of people jump onto these projects, but then I said, well, have you done some of this work before? And he said, well, a few years back, I went out in my backyard and cut down 100 trees. Really? He said, yeah, and then that was in like September, and then in November, we glued them all together and we launched a 65-foot schooner that's now sailing in the harbor of Gloucester, Massachusetts. I mean, boom! I told him, yeah, my woodworking was limited to a cutting board in a high school workshop. Suffice it to say that anything that may not be varnished or look ticky-poo, as they say right now, is functional. Anything that could be fixed has been taken care of. It's a rugged boat. This boat has had good stewardship in its lifetime here.
I like this cockpit a lot just because of the quick in and out from the side decks, and it seems very navigable as a pedestrian.
Right, yeah, you can walk all over this without any problem, but you can also sunbathe all over this. Can we take it in blue water? You can take this out in any kind of water probably, but the fun of it is, again, cruise the coast of Maine. Just enjoy yourself. It's a catch rig, simple rig to set up a set of sail combinations that works for almost any kind of weather. It's not the conventional type with a cockpit with a combing right here, so you'll be a little more relaxed position when you're in this cockpit sailing along, and I think you'll get used to it.
How about water? You know, if you get the rail down in the water.
Well, first of all, if you get water in here, I think they've got scuppers. Yeah, there's a scupper at the forward end of each cockpit right there. It's going to flood right off this deck because it's already got a cant to it to start with. Just sitting here, water is going to drain off. This cockpit has its own 2 sets of scuppers down here, but the cockpit is about, I think it holds about 30 gallons of water, which is nothing. It's pretty simple here. We have a set of engine controls inside here. Here's a Garmin chart plotter, gets you in and out of the harbor. Here's your throttle and your gear shift. That's kind of neat. And a nice big old teak wheel here. There you go.
Oh boy.
I know you like quadrants and things. Well, there's your quadrant operation. Here's something I really like, and you're going to like too.
Okay.
This has the best diesel fuel tank inspection. You want to know how much fuel you have?
Well, that's great.
It's visual.
And he's drawn some lines. Yeah.
He's got 2 lines. One is filled up with 10 gallons, and right now the bottom line shows 5 gallons on there. Last summer, he used all the fuel from the top line down to the present line. That's all.
He used 10 gallons.
He's very economical. See the Raycor filter. He has a 6 kW generator on board. Pretty heavy duty. Look at the fabrications they did over in Asia and so forth. Just massive. Also a really nice big sail locker, isn't it? And we've got another similar size event on this side. And you can see a little more light on the quadrant there. Oh, we got a couple of Variant 2-speed winches here. Aluminum, not self-tailing, but that's all right. The little hawse holes back here are not little shiny chrome cleats screwed down to the railing, is it?
No.
That's major bronze fitting in there. Shine that right up; it'll look great.
Yeah.
But seriously, having a piece that big is wonderful because you can get, sometimes a line will come aboard or go off with an eye splice in the end of it, and you can get it through there, or just good-sized dock lines too. We're also sitting underneath a boom, and it's got some fresh canvas on there that was done by a local sailmaker, same man that did sails for the Kennedy family apparently. And there's also 2 brand new booms. They're spruce. These spars are wood, and they're the box build with 4 sides to it. They're hollow. And when he bought the boat, they were bright, they were varnished, and he said there were a couple places that needed to be scarfed. He did the scarfing, and he says he'll go anywhere with them. So it's a massive, strong wooden spar. I think right now it's time to go forward.
Oh, I thought that was mealtime.
Oh, not yet. So, nice wide decks. I'm pretty much standing straight. This is a pleasure for me to be able to walk these decks and not worry about going over the side. If I went over the side, it's all right. It's just good old salt water. It's not 9 feet down to gravel. That's going to keep you on. It's a nice height. Look at this. Again, it's one of the higher pieces we've seen.
It's kind of nice and grippy too.
It is. I do like this. I shouldn't say this, but I'm not really sold on the Dyneema.
Yeah.
Probably has a lot of wonderful things to it. But it doesn't feel great underhand. It feels a little slippery for me. Not a lot of sails on this particular boat. He has a main, mizzen, and a Yankee that's bent on forward.
Let me see you do a plie.
Yeah, I'll do a plie on your head. There's about a 35-pound Danforth sitting up here. Good heavy setup on chain. He just recently bought and rebuilt a windlass for it. We've got the double Samson post there to hold the bowsprit in place. You can see the big pin through that. That's quite a bolt going through that, isn't it?
It is.
Harkin roller furling system up there. About a 3 or 4 year old Yankee jib for it. So it's just a basic, comfortable day sailing rig to get him around the tracks. He wanted more light down in the cabin, so he had this thing made, and this is brutal.
Yeah, I like the raised. I don't know, something about it seems old-timey.
Yeah,
classic.
Oh yeah, very definitely.
Looks like you can take that washboard out?
Yep, little washboard that'll come out to make it easier to coming and going.
Yep.
And it's vented as well, so the bungs have wasted out of here. And there's the screw head. There's another screw head, and right beneath that I know there's another screw head about to pop. This boat was built with really a fiberglass deck underlayment. It's not really sandwiched.
Okay.
Except that you have fiberglass and then they laid the teak right on top of it. So he's not seeing signs of leakage from these things. It's a visual thing, but it's something that should be taken care of someday. But right now, I said, any reason not to take this boat and go offshore, head out of Gloucester Harbor? He said, I'd do it in a nanosecond, not a problem at all. On the PB, what we did is we pulled all the fastenings out, popped all the bungs, pulled out the fastening itself, drilled in a bigger one deeper.
Okay.
Because on that boat, it was a pretty solid, heavy, thick piece.
And it wouldn't penetrate the fiberglass, or would it?
Well, even if it did, you're going to have it really well bedded.
Yeah.
With bedding, it's going to last you 45 years. Nice butterfly hatch here. And it's called butterfly because both wings, and see this is locked. Yep, there you go. They both open like so, one on either side, which is nice because it allows you to capture breeze from all sorts of angles, whether you're in a marina or on a mooring. We've been walking very easily around this boat, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I'm going to invite you to come and join me below.
Oh, yeah. Can't
Here we
wait to
go.
check it out. Let's do it.
Come on down, pal. Once more.
Oh,
Once more into the fray here, as they say.
this is a little different.
It is a little different. This is a very comfortable living room. We're in the living room right now, I think, with these two big settees. They're fixed. They're non-sliding, but they're wide enough for even the captain to disappear in there practically.
It's pretty beamy.
And she's 13 feet of beam.
Yeah.
And it's very old, I don't want to say old school, it's sort of an old time boat down here. You could, with the carvings and the high finish on the carvings work and so forth, makes you think you might be on on a junk freighter coming out of the islands over there, heading to Macau or someplace. Some storage area up on a nice book raft, and storage up above me, behind me. These are drawers, nice sized drawers, and they're all dovetailed on the edges here. Good size. Could be tidied up a little bit. And the ceiling along here is nicely dealt with the alternating white backboard and then the teak strips alongside of it. We have a little grab rail up here. Opening port, not the biggest one we've seen on a boat, is it? This may get the award for the cutest, though.
It's kind of a peekaboo.
It's a cute one, right, exactly. I can just see my grandson coming up and looking through it. He'd think that's very funny. One thing I know, Randy, you're always concerned about headroom.
Yeah.
We have 6, 7 headroom right here. Might bump on one of those beams if you were 6'6". And it's throughout the whole boat here, the whole boat. Even as you step up into the doghouse, you still have 6'5" headroom up there, at least. So when somebody wants a big boat with a lot of headroom, these are good to consider. Very simple little storage areas here. They've been repainted over the years, and that's fine. That's good. Like little keeper hatch here. I like these on more hatches. They should be on more things on boats. We have a little bar set up here. We did that especially for you because I know that you like occasional
So classy.
libation. Again, more nice drawer storage and all dovetailed. Everything beautifully dovetailed. Right now, looks very comfortable. I've got the heels of my shoes are really clean. I washed them last night. With a lee cloth right here, you're just going to be comfy as a bug in a rug. I like it. A lot of room.
And down low, too.
And down low, yeah. My knees are below my hips.
Good for a sea berth.
Exactly. Now, if we're going to come on up here, again, we step up a little bit, and I still have headroom. Not as much as I had down there, but still plenty. We have a nice view. If you're up sailing around and doing some cooking, you've got these great big windows in the doghouse here that'll keep the cook happy. Hot and cold pressure water. There's a hot water heater on here that is actually heated off the generator.
Okay.
Okay? It's not heated off the engine. I know something's getting prepared here.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, look at that.
Well, even these old beauties got to eat sometime, right? Nice sliding. Heavy. These are all kind of heavy duty too, but they've been splashed, and it's been around for 50 years, getting water splashed on them, and somebody not wiping it up. Lots of varnish goes on this boat, and you could do it once, really well, and probably not really touch it for another 10 years.
That's not the biggest one we've seen.
No, it's not. It's not even close. Behind me, we have a little fitting here, and there's our ice box. This is just ice for right now.
Okay.
But it's good size. I want you to use a little imagination because I'm sitting over here and the table would go right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And the table is not available on this boat. We've got some motor controls over here, electrical panel. There's a distress button here, but
Do you want to hit that?
no, not yet. Oh, this is the 110
Yeah, controls.
control panel here for everything from
From the generator.
yeah. And this panel down here is new. This is an older panel here, but it's all quite handy. This again is a little close to our companionway for me.
Yep.
And you can tell that there has been drippings below, but I think any time you spend on a boat like this with something like this at hand to work with, you'll eventually get a cover for it. I would, just before you go too far. Sometimes you got to check on your generator, right?
Sure.
Got to work on it a little bit.
Oh, wow.
What do you think about that?
Sparkling.
Is that beautiful? The primary fuel filter is up in that locker,
Yeah, we
right
saw
beside
that.
the diesel tank.
Wow, what a nice installation.
And you can actually crawl in it, and you can get into that too from the cockpit locker. So
Yeah.
it's totally accessible.
Yeah.
I just love how clean and neat that is.
Yeah.
There is your head. Check out that head.
Oh, nice separate shower.
Yeah, nice separate shower. That's like a whole room in there.
Yeah.
Again, oh my gosh, 6'5" headroom in the shower. It's amazing. And a nice, it's a thwartship head, but that's okay. And this shower stall is terrific. Great place to hang wet clothes and bathing suits and things too. People
Fowlies.
There's two bare wires here.
One is for left hand, the other one's for right hand.
Yes, exactly. It helps. Anyway.
Better than caffeine.
Exactly. Now I want you to follow me into
All right.
the owner's cabin here.
Oh.
And I go back over here. Here's a nice big, this will pull out even further, but that's going to be a double owner's berth right there. Bookshelf storage, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how many opening ports there are in the owner's cabin.
Yeah.
There's 4 or 5. Out there, you only get 1. But this is wonderful. Look at the woodwork. Everything is just nice and dandy. See?
Hello.
Now, one little catch to this twofer is that the door is missing here.
Oh.
I bet we could get the owner to cut down another tree.
Oh, yeah.
Practically floor to ceiling.
Wow.
Mirror here.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You've never been so in love with a boat.
Forward, and peek in here. This is a little different than other boats. There is room for a berth. And this is, Randy, this is going to be perfect for you. It's going to be better than some of the places we've given you. So here we are. It's quite a lot of space. You've got your chain locker forward here and a pipe to capture the errant chain as it rolls below decks. All heavy teak in here. Just tons of heavy teak.
You know what I see up here? I see a little reading nook.
Yeah, it'd be a good little reading nook. Sure, if it's got a light, could put a berth here. Big hanging locker right here. Size of that. But here would be a nice desk.
Oh, yeah.
For your children's to sit and do their homework while you're off cruising in Fiji.
Yeah.
Right? So, and they'd have a little hatch they could go up on deck and play. The boat's fun. It's got a lot of interesting room and surprises everywhere.
Speaking of surprises, what is it that you're going to tell me?
Oh, all right. I know you're dying, so I'm going to take you. Follow me.
This is the big unveiling.
Here you go. What you always wanted for Christmas. Look at that puppy.
Oh, the electric motor.
There's your electric motor. It's an Elco, 70 horsepower. Is that something? Now, if you could take all that stuff in your magic room and under your cockpit, throw it over the side, and just put that in there. And what he's done here is he has installed a 6 kW generator that will charge up the battery bank. And the battery bank on board is 9 8D AGM batteries.
AGM,
and
okay.
AGM batteries, yes, which is absorbed glass mat. That's what that AGM means. And I'll show you where those batteries are. Would you like to see them? Are you excited?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. So it's basically a hybrid boat.
It's really a hybrid, yeah. He's found that if he just motors away from his mooring about 4 knots, he could go for about 6 hours if he never did anything else. That would reduce the battery bank down 50%.
Okay.
With the AGMs, you don't want to go below that because you eventually start destroying the battery cells. If you wanted to go full bore at hull speed, 7 knots with just batteries, you'd probably only get about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And that would really suck them right down. But that's interesting.
And then you fire up the generator and recharge.
Fire up the generator as you go anytime you want to. And what he said he's done is he'll go out for a sail. He'll take the electric motor and just leave the mooring and maybe motor out, hoist the sails, go for a sail, come back, and on the way in he'll start up the generator. And usually by the time he's back at his mooring, he's got the batteries back up to 100%. Get a sense of the size of the piece. This is not a small motor.
Yeah, although smaller than my 80 horsepower Ford.
And smells a lot better. Also, while you're down there too, that red button, just for interest's sake, is a kill button. It cuts all the juice to it. Now look at those batteries.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we had a discussion about this, and you and I have talked about batteries in the bilge, right?
Yeah.
He feels that these batteries are set up so high and his bilge system is so adequate that he's never going to have to worry about water in there. Probably if he does, he said he's probably going to have some other greater worries. I have been given permission to just start this engine up.
Oh, fun.
Are you ready, Eddie?
Yep.
Okay, switch is on. Okay. Now we're going to go forward slightly.
Oh.
Are we making RPMs there?
Yeah, so quiet.
Can't hear a thing, can you?
Silent.
If you want to go in reverse, you just go like this, and now I'm in reverse. How do you like that?
Oh, it's beautiful.
No transmission.
That explains that gear shifter.
Yep, right here. That's the whole control right there.
So are you convinced? Are you an electric fan?
Oh, I'm sold on a boat. I'm definitely sold for a boat. Yep. Give me a boat and give me an electric motor and give me a way to keep my batteries charged. So it's a fantastic boat, built in 1978 but updated to 2023. And
I'm gonna leave you here to daydream about the table you're gonna have.
I know. I'm planning. I'm gonna lay out a plan for him and see how many trees he's gonna need. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, Randy, thanks for coming down.
All right, we'll see ya.
Really cool. Electric power in sailboats. It's coming. And we've got a chance to see a really nice installation in a boat that's similar in size to the Randy boat, isn't it?
Yep.
And do you think that sort of arrangement would be nice inside your engine room?
It could be. I have to save my pennies up for an electric motor like that.
It's a neat design. They're really pretty. We know that boat floats, doesn't it?
It floats.
Because we were standing on it in the water. William Garden, he's going to get 10 anytime. So there's 20. Now, for you, Randy, I'm going to give 30 for the power plant.
Oh, I like it.
We're right up to 50 for that puppy. And in terms of what needs to be done to it, I'm only going to give it about another 5. So we'll call it 55 with an electric power plant, ready to go to sea right now. How do you like that?
Love it.
All right. I hope that you appreciate our score today. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when the next one comes out, please hit the alert bell. And that's not desperate at all. Randy, how would I ever find out what's coming up next?
You can follow us on Instagram here,
Yeah.
or Facebook here. We'll have little previews of what's coming up on our next episodes. A little bit early.
That's pretty cool. Previews. You all join me. I'm going to Instagram right now, and I'm going to find out what's coming up next week. Thank you very much.
You know, Instagram's not a place.